Hello, my name is JuneB and today we're going to have a cuppa and a chin wag about why communication is so important. Communication, the definition. It is the imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium. There are different ways to communicate. People often take communication for granted. There are three main types. 1, verbal. 2, non-verbal. And 3, visual. Verbal utilizes the spoken word, usually face-to-face or remotely via Zoom nowadays. Direct and to the point, or sometimes maybe not. Have you ever seen someone say something and their body language says something totally different? Hey, how you doing? Non-verbal. Communication by facial expressions, hand gestures, postures, and even appearance. It says a lot about you, actually more about you than your verbal communication. How you stand, laugh, smile, grimace, and so on. Tell people who you really are. Visual, including signs, maps, drawings, color, graphics, design, social media. Think about a commercial on television. Here's one. Has anyone seen Go.Compare? That's very big in the UK. So what do they say about the company? What is the news telling you about themselves? Or maybe Fox News. When you see that logo, what do you think? So how does that relate to our particular journey that we are on right now? Your communication means so much, and the words you have said have such power, whether you realize it or not. Let's keep it simple. Your words can hurt and they can heal. If you were on the receiving end of someone's words that may be the last thing that you hear ever, what would you want those words to be? So I'll ask you 3 questions. What would you like to hear from someone? I love you. You're so great. You're amazing. 2, on the flip side, when was the last time you said those kind of things to someone? Words of encouragement and kindness. What were they and what did you say to someone else? And 3, lastly, when was the last time you said some of those words to yourself? June. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself how you really feel about you. I know it can be hard sometimes. I know communicating can sometimes be an issue. How someone takes what you say is 100% about them, no doubt. Just imagine though, if you really didn't know what state someone was in, mentally I mean, and you said harsh words to them and they ended up doing something crazy to themselves, how would you feel? Well, you could say, it's not my fault. Or you could say, they did it to themselves. Or you could say a number of things about how you really feel if that situation happened. I know there are people right now that are on the edge. People who have personally trusted me with their story and confided in how they feel right now. And some people don't know if they can make it through another day. The rates of depression have doubled since the pandemic. The effects on our mental health of the COVID pandemic, bereavement, isolation, loss of income, and fear are triggering mental health conditions or increasing existing ones. Many people may be facing increased levels of alcohol and drug use, insomnia, and anxiety. So firstly, how can you help? There's an analogy that I love to use. If you were in an aeroplane and all of the oxygen masks came down, the first mask you should always put on is your own and then you go and help other people. So how are you communicating to yourself? How are you making yourself feel good? Either you're bringing yourself up, or you're pulling yourself down. So think about how you talk to yourself, because communicating with yourself is vitally important to make sure it's in a positive, nurturing, non-judgmental, and comforting way. The whole point of this talk is to make you become aware of how you are communicating to yourself first, and then those around you, and how powerful your words really are. How do you talk to yourself? Let's be honest, we all do it, and how does it sound? Well, do you talk to your best friend the way that you talk to yourself? Similarly, when you see others, how do you interact with them? There are many people who have social anxiety, and people living with social anxiety have an intense and persistent fear of embarrassment, humiliation, or rejection from others. It can lead them to avoid social situations. It can also make them react to the slightest thing that you've said in a very negative way. Are you communicating how you feel without even realizing it? Here are 5 tips. 1. Communicate. Talk about your worries. It's normal to feel worried, scared, helpless about the current situation. Maintain contact with friends and family via phone and video calls to share how you are feeling. If one of your friends or family is not communicating, this may be a sign that they're slipping into depression. If that was you, wouldn't you want someone to reach out and help you to get through it? Of course you would. 2. Listen and then talk. I know how frustrating it is to have something to say and you want to talk over the person and get your point across. I have done this so much in the past. It's not only disrespectful to the other person, it's also a little bit oppressive. Imagine you are on the other end of someone who won't let you get a word in. Would you want to be around them? Would you want to hear what they have to say? As soon as you saw them, you would leave and avoid them altogether. Well, okay, I know I would. I know there are some times when you have to cut in, although whenever you are going to speak, someone keeps talking over you, then why would you say anything at all? Now, I know there are some times when you have to cut in, although if whenever you are going to speak, someone keeps talking over you, then why would you say anything at all? So if you look at it from that side, then that would tell you that you're not doing a good job of listening. 3. Manage your social media and information intake. If 24-hour news and constant social media updates are making you worried, and for most of us it is, try to limit the time you spend watching, reading, or listening to coverage of doom and gloom to less than once a day. I tested it out over a year ago. I turned off all of my notifications and relied on a few close friends and family to keep me in the loop if something tragic was going on. And do you know what I missed? Nothing! Being able to live my life and feel so much happier and lighter is what I achieved. 4. Watch your words. You may be doing okay, right? What about the next person? Try to be kind, compassionate, and think about how you would feel if the shoe was on the other foot and you was on the receiving end of someone's bad manners or a slur that really hurt. Sometimes when people say things that are not nice, they may be lashing out because they have internal issues, and that's what they say is all about them. They need help. Most days, I send a prayer of love and healing to those people that are in a bad position. As I always say, how I take the comment though is 100% about me. If I'm already down, I'm trying my best to get through a tough day and someone kicks me when I'm down, how do you think that makes me feel? How do you think it makes anyone feel when all you're trying to do is get through the day? Just look at it this way. You may be hard as nails. Nothing may get to you personally. Believe me, what goes around though comes around. Imagine if someone was being abusive or hurtful to your daughter, your mother, your wife, your sister, your best friend. How would that make you feel? 5. Give yourself a break. Stop beating yourself up for everything you think you have done wrong. If you were harsh to someone, there's no need to apologize to them. Say to yourself, you were going through something and it's time to move on and replace that negativity with something else. Love. Give yourself some loving kindness and keep a close watch on the words you say. Then find a way to say something good to the next person who you come into contact with and send the circle of loving kindness back around. Pick up on what the world is telling you. My kids always say to me as a joke, "Mom, read the room." And it is so true. Take some time to watch what's going on with people. Read their body language. You can do the same too. Tell people how you feel by your expression alone is such a powerful thing. So look for clues in your day-to-day life. What is the universe telling you? For a moment, close your eyes and feel. Let go of the thoughts and see how you feel. Whatever you feel right now is the universe communicating with you on a deeper and more intrinsic level. And that is something we should all try to practice and expand on. Now open your eyes and write what you felt in those few minutes in your journal. Conclusion. On a side note, words are so powerful. Feeling more than talking sometimes is also a great thing to do. Remember, everyone is at a different level in life. Nobody is better or worse than you. You are no better or worse than anyone else. Be humble, be kind, be loving, be you. If you have any suggestions of topics for me to cover, put them in the comments below. If you resonated with this kind of content, then like, share, subscribe, and you know what? Turn on the notifications. Until next time, toodaloo.